African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land.
America, we're tired of living like this. We're tired of suffering like this. We can build a nation of our own. Black men died at Pearl Harbor. Black men died in Guadalcanal, in the Solomon Islands, in the Philippines, at Iwo Jima. Black men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! We died to build America. And America has rebuilt Germany and Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America.
That was Donald Trump trying to express his feelings towards the black community in America and everything. And you know what? These people, whenever they do all that they're doing against the black people in America, all that they are passing the laws and the amendments that are only are affecting the black community in America and everything. It is not that they don't know all that happened. It is not that they don't know the history of America and the black people. It is not that they pretend, but it's just like they assume. And they assume and they feel like these people are not supposed to be here. They are not belong here. They don't belong here. So they have to. We know that the black Americans are the one who build America. And today, if we have to speak the reality and the facts concerning everything in this land and all that happened, the people who are supposed to be the real honor of America are the black Americans. The people who are supposed to be given honor and respect in America are the black community in America. Why? Because these people build up this America. Their ancestors who were enslaved and were taken to America are the people who build up these great empires that today it is being as heaven. So why are they being oppressed? Black Americans are legal citizens of the United States. No migration. Their ancestors were forcefully brought to America through the transatlantic slave trade, mainly from West and Central Africa between the 1600s and 1800. So black Americans are not migrants. You know, there is a migrant and legal citizens. So their ancestors did not choose to migrate. They were kidnapped and enslaved. After slavery ended, the 14th Amendment of America 1868 guaranteed citizenship to all people born in the U.S., including former slaves and their descendants. So they contributed a lot to build up America, because black Americans literally helped build up the U.S. through slave labor and build cities, railroads, farms, and economies. So legally, there are founders and citizens, not immigrants, like those who voluntarily came from Europe, Asia, or elsewhere to come and live in America. So that's where the people don't understand these issues. These people are not just here because they went vacate, to like vacation, or just to make a tour and find themselves maybe living or extending the time of living, and maybe find themselves being the citizens of this country. But they lived there, they were born there. Their forefathers they died in that country, they were buried there, and they never went gone to that place willingly, but they were forcefully taken from many parts of the world, including Africa, Caribbean, and all the other parts where the whites invaded and colonized. So today, these people are still facing harassment. They are real citizens. Systematic racism are the key reasons as to why this is happening. So historical racism after slavery ended, systems like Jim Crow laws, segregation, and racial terror were put in place to keep black people at a lower status. Some groups wrongly viewed black Americans as threat to job or power, leading to hostility. Stereotypes and misinformation, negativity, portrayals in media and politics fuel bias and fear through the black community, which made them to feel like whenever they feel themselves as victims, as suspects. They are being only seen as terrorists. They are not recognized as the citizens of this country. They cannot be given chance to public offices, to get spaces just to work and do anything that can do with their life. So Donald Trump coming today and explain all this, is saying that he recognized the presence of black community because they built up America. So they are going to find a way on how to fix these problems. If he could have known this long time ago, he would have not made the decision that he made immediately after he came to power. Because after his ascent to the power, the first thing he started is to make sure that he discriminated these people, he undermined them, and he caused them he made them uncomfortable, because he deported many Africans or many black Americans from America, calling them illegally migrants. I told you earlier, if the people that we have to call the illegal immigrants in America are not only are not black Americans, but the white people, because these people were just there in that country, but they did nothing. They contributed a little percentage to build up this country or this great empire. But the black people, through their sweat and blood, through their torture, through the suffering and the death of their ancestors, that's when the great empire came through. That's when we started to see the great America. That's when the great America won the war against the colonizers, the country like Germany and all those countries that were trying to fight them. So today, the white man or the black man in America has to be honored, has to be respected, because he contributed in a large percentage to building up this great America. Black Americans never migrated voluntarily. They were forced into slavery, exploited and denied freedom for centuries. After building up the world and the nations, they were still denied equal rights for generations. Even today, they fight for their treatment, while newer immigrants often face fewer historical barriers. So that's why today you see, like, all that is happening today in America, the reasons to why these people are coming out to cry out, to shout on the medias, on TikTok, to complain, all and everything that's happening in America. They are doing this because all the laws and policies that was introduced in America, or everything that was introduced, which is affecting the economy of America, which is affecting the high cost of living, which is affecting the people like the white Americans escaping this land and trying to go in other parts of the world just to start a new life, leaving everything from their land. This is happening because as they introduced these laws and these policies, it affected everyone. So when the black Americans were fighting on how to relocate back to Africa and maybe try to trace their identity or ancestral backgrounds, They are doing this because they have to, because they have been suffered many years in the hands of oppressor, in the hand of the white supreme or the white governments. They have faced a lot of challenges, a lot of humiliation, intimidation, racial discrimination, without having hope. Plus police brutality. Living in a place where you don't have a right to speech, you don't have the right to expression, you don't have the freedom in a place that you call a home, in a place that you believe it's your country. So for them making this decision that they want to go back to Africa, maybe to try to trace their ancestral background and connect with their DNA, because they sit down and feel that place belongs to us, because the people who are in that place, they're just looking similar as just like we look. So that is what motivated them. And many Africans, Americans, after they have relocated back to Africa and find that the people in Africa are so welcoming, so friendly, and these people, they are their own brothers and sisters. They are related in one way or the other. That's how when they started to come out, speak positivity towards Africa, giving testimonies on how they have been living under the darkness, how they have been living under the lies that they were installed. And they were born finding that this is how the system has been controlling things. So to make sure, all this happened just to make sure that the black people in Africa and the black Americans never unite. Because if these people will have come to unite one day, then this could have been brought the big problem to oppressors or the white Americans. So today, Donald Trump is coming up to speak all this, but he's not doing anything. And this is not the time of words, but it's the time of actions. If he believes for all that he's saying, if the white people believes in the words that are coming today to say, they would have not doing all that they have did to the black community. They have caused a lot of damages, a lot of problems. They have caused more lives. They have caused a lot of assaults to the black community. Don't forget that you are the one who caused all the suffering and damages that is in Africa today. There are some people who are still traumatized in Africa just because of all that you committed in the name of slavery and colonization. There are families who've lost their people in thousands due to your genocide, but you never speak about this. You never speak about the genocide, about the exploitation, about the slavery. You never speak the history of America. The children, when they grew up, they never taught about the history of America and how it was built. They never tell. They're not being taught on how the slave trade contributed hugely to build up this great empire, while the people or the generation of the black community who are being born today, they are passing through the hardship in the hands of the people who caused a lot of damages in their life, who caused them to be today where they are. And that's for them bringing up this reason of us speaking about the black Americans. Because if we never had this slavery, we would have not come here to speak about the black Americans. But because of that, that's why today we come here each and every day to speak about these issues. They never compensated. They were never compensated all that was happened in Africa. They never compensated any Africans. And at the same time, they are still coming out to address issues, to address their concerns, to chase these people out of their land, because they believe that America is only built for the white Americans, but not any other race. This is unfair. If the governments of America today, Europe, Asia, Great Britain, will have known and sit down and try to remember everything that they did towards the black community, they would have not doing all that they are doing today towards this community. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate all that you are doing. For those people who are tying in my channel, I love you and I appreciate you. I welcome you each and every day. Don't forget to come back, because this is a place where we do this each and every day. If you feel like you are being touched by these videos, kindly try to subscribe the channel, join my membership, subscribe, comment, share my videos so that it can hit some people too, and feel the message, feel the vibrant, so that we can continue building this content channel each and every day. We have to engage in conversations and share our thoughts, and maybe know what we can do just to make all that happened, and try to correct all the messes that was created by some people who never wanted to see the progress of Africa. So until this time, and we know all that is happening because we know the history of Africa and how our ancestors contributed or played the huge part just to make sure that Africa is great. Until next time, we can do the same. I appreciate your support. I love you, and I'll come you back in my channel. Thank you very much, and be blessed wherever you're watching from.